Hey everyone, welcome to World Heritage Journey. Today we're at Mesa Verde in Colorado, USA. So the mesa, or a flat-topped mountain, is tucked away in the remote southwest of Colorado. And here it's home to the ancient dwellings of Native Americans. There's over 600 fascinating cliff houses here, and I'm really excited to check it out. Let's go. So across the canyon behind me, you can see what's known as the Cliff Palace, and it's the largest of the cliff dwellings here, and it's just absolutely stunning. Even from here across the canyon, you can see the immense size of it. There's over 150 rooms there, about 75 open spaces including plazas, and 21 ceremonial kivas as well. Though what's surprising is that it doesn't look like there was a large population, only about 100 or so people, and the current speculation is that this was probably a capital city of some sort rather than an actual living community. Now there's just so many cool details there, like the way people got in and out of the cliff dwellings was literally through hand and toe holds cut into the rock so they could climb up and down, which is just incredible. Imagine doing that after a hard day's labor up in the fields on top. So we've crossed over the canyon now to the other side, and we've found a really good vantage point, and you can see the Cliff Palace just below me. And from here, all of the details really pop out. You can see how far back it goes into the alcove, and you can also see how the buildings are just stacked on top of each other up to about 4 stories high in places. It's just really, really fascinating. So across the canyon behind me in that large cave, you can see what's known as Spruce Tree House. Although when we say house, it's really more of a community. It's the 3rd largest cliff dwelling here on the mesa, and it's the best preserved as well. Unfortunately, we can't go any closer to it because there was a serious rockfall a few years ago, and it's considered too dangerous to approach. But it was built in around the 13th century. It took about 100 years to build, and then it was just abandoned along with all of the other sites in the area, which is really interesting. Now when you look at it, you can see houses, you can see the circular ceremonial kivas where religious and social rituals were performed. You can see their storehouses and a 3-story dwelling as well. It's really cool. So although the cliff dwellings are the most impressive, the oldest dwellings here are actually these pit houses up on top of the mesa, and they date from around 600 AD, like this one behind me. Now these are just single family houses, they're not big communities, though they were clustered in groups. This one is one of a group of 7. And these were for farmers. They would grow corn and squash and beans just outside the house, and there's actually a storage room inside there to store their excess crops. Now what's interesting about them is that the house is actually set halfway down into the ground and then covered over with a roof, and you would access through the top with a ladder. And they've done that because of the weather here. The summers are very hot and the winters are cold and snowy, and so by burying their house halfway into the ground, it helps moderate the temperature and allows them to keep a fire when they need it. Behind me is a mysterious structure known as the Sun Temple, though it's not actually known what it was for. It's called the Sun Temple because it's speculated it was probably to do with celestial and solar observations. Now it's really interesting because it's sitting up here on top of the mesa and there's no pueblo nearby. It's roughly in the shape of a capital D, and there was no roof on it, so obviously nobody lived inside, though there are dwellings just below us in the cliffs. So it's been a really cool World Heritage Site, this one. I've really enjoyed going around the canyon and the mesa, just checking out everything and learning a lot about Native American culture as well. And I think it pairs really nicely with the visit we had yesterday to Chaco Canyon, which is also a World Heritage Site. You can see that video by clicking up here. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Hit subscribe if you'd like to see more from the World Heritage Journey. I'll see you next time.